I can't hear. Are you able to hear me?
Can you hear me now? Okay, how about
Okay, can you hear me, Chief? No, I can't hear you. I don't know if you can hear me.
I'm still getting feedback?
I can't hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yes, it's a really big echo. Can you hear me? Big echo.
What you? Can you hear me, Phoenix?
Yes. Really bad echo.
I don't know where this echo coming from. Trying to get out this echo.
There you go. Sound good now.
Okay, I done did everything you can think about doing. All righty. I don't know which one took over, but let's see. Phoenix,
Yes,
you can hear me?
I can, loud and clear.
All right, everybody's hearing us now. I had to come in with just a picture for to get the sound out. Okay, if everybody can hear me, I thank each and every one of you all who came in with us today. Hope y'all enjoyed yourself. I know it was just a little thing sometime, but little things you like to share with your friends because it was a big thing to me today. Tell me what you think about today, Phoenix, and tell me what you think about Arthur. Let's talk.
Well, I absolutely adore Arthur. He's true to his word. He stands on the truth, 10 toes down. He's kept every commitment that I've heard him uh say out of his mouth. And Arthur is. I just hope there's more people like him out there. But he's a breath of fresh air, and helps you know helps keep a perspective that there are people that will do the right thing out there still.
All right. Okay, I see somebody on here by the name of what is it, Hot Shot or something like that. I don't know where they disappeared on me. Um, say they listen to me on I-12. I thank you for that. Um, I-12 is near me, guys. It passed right by me. I popped it up there so people can see local is on here with us. Welcome, Tommy. Okay. Um, Phoenix, a lot of people, you've been here. A lot of people haven't been here. Okay, now I can't get it to come up. A lot of people haven't been to St. Tammany. You have been here. You done saw Arthur personally. So you know Arthur is just Arthur. I'm trying to get this off y'all while I'm doing it. We are having some kind of little difficulty today. I don't know what it is. Um, Arthur Phoenix, I think, is the most sincere person for politics that I've seen in a long time. Okay. Um, those of you who don't know, Arthur made a promise when he was running for office that he wanted to run for office and help set some things that was done wrong right. And Phoenix, I'm gonna be honest with you, he's amazing. Okay. Um, some people tell you they're gonna do something, and then the next thing you know, they then got caught up in the political realm, and they trying to backstep back door, not to do what they promised. To do the right thing. It's not like we're asking them to do anything illegal. The documentation is there, the history is there, the maps, or like you guys say, is beyond CVS um, receipts. I want you all to know something. What you see I'm doing, you all can do it, and this is what I want to talk about tonight. What do you have to do? Because people keep asking me. I get questions like, "Is that your real hair?" You there, Phoenix? I haven't lost you, huh?
I'm here.
Okay. I get messages like, "Is that your hair?" Yes, it is. When it's a loose, which I don't wear it too often like that. I've been wearing plaits all my life. I can show you the gray part in the middle of my head. I just told Phoenix I'm not ashamed. I'm finna get that gray. I only got a gray cross, go across the front and down the seam where I part my hair turned gray. Telling y'all this story, not deviating. That's how truthful I've been with you all. In other words, you got what I'm saying, Phoenix? I have not been trying to tell y'all one thing, doing another, and running undercover on something. I want you to see what a real tribe have to go through and do, and you have to be involved with your local government. Might have to take a few people out and bring a few people in, okay? To start getting your stuff right from your area. I told Dr. Fontaine that we talked a long time, and I really enjoyed Dr. Fontaine last night. We got to get to the foundation of your records. Where is your family history from? We have allowed Europeans to change names of places. Now, Phoenix, that's a good way to get lost when they change the names. So yeah, they really have to get out there and get the name of where their people were. Get the original name, find the original paperwork, tie yourself to the place. I'm hearing people that have no problem with the word foundational black. Actually, it's sort of self-explanatory, but there is no records in foundational black. But I will tell you what they have. There are records. Hold on a second. All right. Bertha's cousin, she called me and told me that she was going to let you know when I was on air again. You're from Mississippi. Okay. Y'all, if you hear me chewing, I didn't eat today. Okay. What we have to stop doing is letting people tell us who we are. Yeah, Sunflower, changing the name have really harmed the people. But do you see, you can go back and fight to get those names back in place. You can say, hey, you know what? I know this crazy chief named Chief Warhorse that is fighting to make sure people do not lose their proper identity. I'm trying to come. I'm not gonna say Zulu too much, okay? Because they're already battling about Zulu from Africa to New Orleans. So I'm not gonna call you Shaka either. That's caused another fight. The people some culture misappropriation. Okay, I'm Chief is honest. Get your name that they won't have you on TV like they on there fighting now about Shaka Zulu. Yeah. Okay. So I'm just gonna call you from where you at then, from Mound Bayou, Mississippi. That's what Chief gonna call you, Mound Bayou, Mississippi. I don't want to get caught into today's show. I talked about people using the tribal name or mispronounced of the tribal name as of Choctaw when we shot. Thank you for not being offended, Mound Bayou. Okay. Um, I'm gonna help correct you so you don't mess yourself up. If you hear as an Indian, Shaka Zulu was in Africa. So, you come out better being crazy horse or something. But don't even do that. I'm just saying it to that point. We should not take names. When we change names of places, we get lost. When we change our name, we get lost. You with me, Sunflower? Okay, if that nun told you you don't look Indian, tell that nun I said this, Sunflower. Tell you what an Indian look like to her. She can't tell you you don't look like an Indian if she don't tell you the example of what an Indian look like. Do that make sense, guys? We're not that far into this show, so y'all bear with us. Y'all know I lost 9 to 10 minutes trying to get the sound right. Hadn't been in the studio long. We just came back setting up today, and I'm gonna make a pledge to you all. I'm gonna try my best, and y'all pray with me that at least I can come on air at least once a week. I bet, baby, I understand about putting family names out, and I don't want you to do that either. Okay, but just get another name that's not somebody else's name that's in another place, because I want you to have your full respect of who you are. Okay, Brookhaven in the house. Is this the Brookhaven I met? Phoenix? Now, I see Brookhaven is in the house, laughing to the crying. Okay, if that's the
No,
Brook,
I'm not familiar. I'm not familiar.
huh?
I'm not familiar with Brookhaven.
Oh, got Brookhaven in here. Okay, I know where Brookhaven is. I'm trying to figure out this Brookhaven. Okay, let me see what you say here. You get where I'm coming from? Thank you. I'm not being rude, though. I'm just trying to help you. I miss you too, Evans. Evans, Noreen says she owe you an apology. Noreen, Evans is on the here, and yeah, she told me she got to do something. She accidentally. Yes. Go ahead, Ring. I accidentally deleted your message, trying to delete mine. It was right on top, and deleted both of us. So, and then my phone went out, so I couldn't fix it, like reverse it and get it back in there. So I do apologize to you. Then my phone went dead, so I couldn't do nothing until it charged so back up. Did you get your apology? She really meant that. That was an accident. All right. Why I'm thank you too from y'all sharing your time with me also. So we are helping each other. Okay. I'm gonna answer two people right quick. I want to go back to Sunflower, because that's disturbing, Sunflower, for you to tell me somebody say you don't look like an Indian. Do that mean you don't look like Bill Cody? Hold 1 sec, y'all. Let me go on a mute. I'm getting a call coming in. Hold up.
Can you hear me now, Chief? You can hear me?
I hear you loud and clear.
Okay.
All right. Oh, yeah, you clear. So, Phoenix, I want to touch on two things with you. One, what I just told Mound Bayou, okay? Your opinion toward Mound Bayou. And we know the controversy out there now about Zulu. On this channel, we trying to keep confusion down, but bring forth information, knowledge to help you empower yourself in your fight. And what I'm trying to do, Phoenix, when I see a weak point out there, I want to address it so they don't have to go back and somebody say, okay, you were Shaka Zulu 6 months ago. You see what I'm saying? Now
That's right.
so don't tarnish yourself more than Europeans have already tarnished you through your race and identity. So, I understand he said he don't want to put your family name out there. Well, your family name, your name could be on the internet. I understand it's very safe these days to have another name. Just my crazy behind have my whole name and where I live, but I would pity the fool that come picking around with me. That's all I'm gonna say about that one. But I do want you to keep yourself safe, because the internet can be a dangerous place when people attack you because they're not mature enough to disagree without becoming disagreeable. But I would say don't use that particular name for right now because it's highly controversial, Phoenix. It's just like what Tom Maitland was doing with the tribe. It's just like what uh, 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 um, Linda and Roderick and them was doing. Those people never lived here. And they came and tried to take on an identity. That's no different than what Tom did. No different. Okay? For anybody I didn't say hi back to, I'm saying hi to all of y'all that have said hi. And I'm also saying this to you all. As well as you're glad I'm back, I'm glad y'all are back here with me. We're going to make the channel grow a little more because there's a lot have happened in the last year that we had already talked about in the previous year and leading up to the last election. But I want you to know the name that you carry, your parents' name, your grandparents' name, that is part of your foundation of who you are. When you alter that, it causes conflict within people getting to know who you are. Um, when they change your land name, like I'm fighting to get Bonfacott because all of the paperwork is in Bonfacott. Um, if you heard Arthur today, Phoenix, he made it understood. I'm not in Slidell. He's not in Slidell. Okay? Name changing can get you lost. I understand a lot of people have changed their name for many purposes, but you're still going to have to go to who your family name is to get your records correct. Okay? Not picking on anyone, but right now we got a battle uh, uh, um, from Africa to New Orleans about Zulu. I'm from Louisiana. I heard people on the internet talking and they're like, I'm not from Louisiana. I'm from the East Coast. I'm from the West Coast. Some people say, I went to the Mardi Gras, da da da. Well, if we tell you the truth, are you going to listen? Y'all understand what I'm saying, Phoenix? Because sometimes we try to tell people stuff and they don't want to listen. They get angry. If you can remember, Phoenix, we had a long conversation about masking Indians and Mardi Gras. And we actually did a couple of shows about it. Even before I started my show, we talked about it on your show.
Sure did.
I think because I'm from Louisiana, I can talk about it a little bit. Okay? Because some people is misunderstanding it. So I'm not here to do a Zulu show, but since I saw him, I am here to talk about um, cultural misappropriation. Because that's my fight. Y'all know that. So, a prime example. There's no difference in what Tom Maitland is doing, not because he's white and because a black person can do it. If we got to start thinking, if we see black people walking around here painting their face white, okay, and calling themselves mammies and pappies, what I'm saying, how would you feel about that, Phoenix?
I would want to know what's wrong with him.
Right. And then I know a lot of these so-called civil rights leaders would get out there and say it was mockery. We cannot dress in the Jewish attire, walk through town and pretend we Jewish and start doing Jewish ceremonies, and because they got laws to protect that. So, Phoenix, that's why you heard me say today to Arthur, I'm gonna put in an ordinance to protect our culture here in St. Tammany Parish, just like Oklahoma have a protection within Oklahoma. That keeps these other tribes from other areas coming in here that has no lineage, cannot prove lineage, from coming in and speaking on our behalf. So let's go back to the masking Indians. People are masking as an Indian, wearing attire that has nothing to do with the Choctaw people's attire. It looked more Caribbean. And I'm not on here picking with you guys that's masking Indians because I've told the men and the women this. It's very offensive that you have a social organization that you're trying to make it a tribe. So now here we got an African tribe mad because there go another social club. Okay, Phoenix? Um, because it was founded in 1909 does not mean it was right to do that. But I understand communication and internet was not there, and that Someone pick up what white people introduced. We can't make friends fighting each other. Y'all with where I'm at? You understand what I'm saying, Penny? Why pick a fight
Yes. I
about this?
think I think you might have to get them to go back over the history for those that weren't around. Um, because I see that they don't understand when you say that something that was created by white folks. I don't think they know that.
Well, these white folks is who brought that type environment, which was the Wild Wild West, the Creole Wild Wild West show with Bill Cody, along with we keep missing that the white folks before the Creole Wild Wild West show, that had nothing to do with exactly white people when it started. It was the Creole. You hear what I'm saying? Making mockery of other people and doing a Wild Wild West show. And Bill Cody was taking people around the world making money. It was entertainment and a money maker. And if you go back to the Tom Aitken show, you'll hear him saying that. Y'all understand what I'm saying? He said it was all about the money. He said he organized a lot of these little tribes. Now that's the fake tribes that's not even masking as Mardi Gras Indian. Okay? That's the order of the red man. Now, I want y'all to hold 1 second. I'm gonna try to come back in with a picture with y'all. Uh, Let me get something. 1 second. I'm gonna step to the back of the room. I'd rather we don't be ignorant and get knowledge. A lot of times we're doing stuff to hurt our own selves instead of helping ourselves. Before I go any further, y'all with Chief coming back trying to tell y'all stuff because I don't want y'all to think I'm being bossy. This is just Chief, This is me daily. All right, let me bring something on stage. Okay, here's Chief on stage. You see this thick book? I want all y'all to say yes, you see it. Please do, because we're gonna be working on these things. And I said I was gonna do it last year, but we got caught into this crazy election. Y'all see this book? Okay, y'all see how thick it is? You see some yes? Come on. Now I'm gonna move in a little bit. Phoenix, tell me, can you see it? It's upside.
Yes.
Wait, I gotta flip it upside down to get it right. Nope. I'm trying to get it. Let me see which side I'm gonna show y'all. Can you? Well, read it backwards. Y'all see what it is? See it? Y'all remember we talked about
Improved order of the red man.
the history of them? Look what year
Mm.
I have their records from. I want them to see it too when they come to this channel. Yeah, I got your book.
1763.
To
Is that what
win.
it say?
To win.
What is that? 19 something.
1988.
Oh,
Y'all know we got deep into this and we got sidetracked. Now, let's do this so when they come to check, Chief got the receipt. I wasn't just talking to Tom Aitken like that, guys. I have the receipt. Y'all see it? Put in there. Receipt. What kind of receipt this is? Is this a CBS? I beat CBS out. These are the kind of books I have. I'm not talking smack. And that's what Arthur was trying to say today. I'll be laying down evidence. Y'all see this? This they receipt from the 1700s to 1988. Anybody got something to say? Sound is going out. Is it coming back? Can you hear me now? Okay. There's other books. That's right, CBS. Okay. I'm trying to get in here a little bit. When a group of y'all come down, we'll sit down and have a session like I was doing with J Moore. We got some books for J Moore to see. See, this is their history. And this was one of their first books. And that's the page I'm showing you. And that history book covered 1884. And it's called the 1884 History of the Order by Morris H. Graham. I have what presidents is a part of this, what congressmen and senators was a part of this. Are y'all listening at me? And y'all know we started talking about that. There was a ship in here talks about that came here in 1915, the British ship named Louisiana. Y'all hear what I'm saying? When you go through here, you find targets. Like St. Tammany Parish was a target. I'm at a part in the book now, 1917, World War One. In 1917, Margaret Sanger, who black folks right now is arguing, Phoenix, about she was doing right with birth control for to help people. You get what I'm saying? Margaret Sanger was arrested, okay, at that time. Here it is. Stop listening at some of these people with their shows telling you this is meaning is helping us. What black people back then needed abortions? Or tell me, do y'all see her name backwards on there? You see it, Phoenix? Please tell me if you can see her name. Can y'all see it? Tell me if y'all see. Margaret Sanger is not for us. She was there to be a part of wiping us out. Okay, y'all going quiet on me. Can y'all hear me? Can you hear me? Please tell me. Yes, you can see it. This is when she was arrested. 1917. Margaret Sanger. What do that have to do with black folks of color? Do we have people of color telling us to get involved with something that has nothing to do with us? Nothing. I lost Phoenix on stage. Let me get her back on. All right, Phoenix, you back?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, if Margaret Sanger is in this book, and this is the Order of Redness, this will get me with Jeannie, and I found out she was in the Daughters of Revolution, and I had to cut her loose after that show because she exposed Tone by putting him on the show, and he really helped to expose her. I told y'all about the birth of a new nation. This is them bragging. Let me see, can I get this a little better? You see this, Phoenix? What I'm fixing to do, Phoenix, I'm going to snapshot it, send it to you, so we can shut some of these blacks up that's on the internet telling you that this woman need a monument or statue in her favor because she was helping with health care for the black people and all of this mess. Lie, lie, lie. The whole thing is a lie. Phoenix, I'm sending you this page, okay?
Okay.
I'm clipping this out, and then I want you to read it because I don't want them. Like I just told some of my little cousins, I'd rather somebody else to read it. I can read. I got the book, but I'd rather somebody else to read so nobody don't think I'm making this junk up. And I will post this on some of these pages on my page. We going deep. We going deep. I want y'all to put on there. We going deep this year. Say what I said, Phoenix. Did you hear me? We going deep.
Yes, ma'am.
I don't want my people out there ignorant. You all did. Whoever is new on this channel, go back and look at Birth of a Nation and stuff. I'm not talking to y'all off the top of my head. Yeah, I'll show you some stuff on the internet, but I have stuff in writing. They can shut the internet down and still have it. We going deep. She is the devil. And she is a part of the eugenics movement. Okay, things. I just sent some stuff. Tell me, where did you get it? Did it make
Okay,
it
I
to
got
you?
some pictures.
I'm gonna back up
Yeah.
so you can come on. I'm backing up. If you need to bring another thing on, fine. But I know these people trust you. You've been doing research. I'm just sending you some cross reference. I'm finna back off of here and let you continue where you at, and I'm coming off stage. You go.
This says Margaret Sanger was arrested on obscenity charges in connection with her book, Family Limitations, a pioneer work on birth control, taken to court by New York Society for Suppression of Vice. She was found guilty of circulating a book contrary not only to the law of the state, but to the law of God. She was found guilty and jailed. The Birth of a Nation, D.W. Griffith's landmark motion picture, opened on February 8th, 1915, at Clunes Auditorium in Los Angeles, California, the most spectacular film made up to that time. It aroused bitter protests from liberals for a sympathetic treatment of the Ku Klux Klan during Reconstruction. Black leaders objected to its lurid racism. The film was based on the novel The Klan Man by Thomas Dixon. Also in 1915, the first transcontinental telephone call was made by the same man who made the original phone call in 1876, Alexander Graham Bell, speaking from New York City, who said to Dr. Thomas Watson in San Francisco, Mr. Watson, come here.
Tell
I
me if you
can't.
want the rest. I'll send it to you.
Yeah, if you could send me the rest.
I'll send you the rest. Okay, I saw J Moore came in. J Moore, you came to St. Tammany Parish to Beaufort. You saw the book. You can witness that this book exists. And this is not just a book, guys. These
Hmm.
records. Y'all understanding what I'm saying? This is their records.
Oh my goodness, let's talk about infants on the board, the ships with them, and everything.
Okay? But we're gonna listen at these so-called civil rights leaders, Phoenix, who are misleading the public. And guys, I've been wanting to get back with you on this, but there was three things. One, a lot of people was taking the politics too serious for me. Okay, Phoenix, to learn what's really going on. And I was raised down here where these orders of the approved order, the red man was sitting in St. Tammany, was in a connection by the name to him. I get to know some history, and I had people that taught me history in this community who could barely speak English really clearly, but they were smart enough not to lead us down the wrong road. Phoenix, I sent you the other part. And if y'all think it's important, we go deep. J Mar come, he know. J Mar know Aima can go deep, huh, J Mar with me. I taught my kids. Don't mislead people. It's hard for them to find their place when you do that. Okay, Phoenix? Name changing, not telling the truth. Now I'm looking at black folks protesting and in support of Margaret Sanger. And we got a problem with people of color count right now when there's a censor. We're gonna go deep enough to talk about how they use us to eliminate us so that they can bring in more immigrants. They need to make space. Phoenix, did it make it to you?
Yes, hold on one second. Okay, let me continue. Uh, okay, so I'll go back to the phone call. Alexander Graham Bell, speaking from New York City, who said to Dr. Thomas A. Watson in San Francisco, Mr. Watson, come here. I want you. Although Thomas A. Edison had built the first phonograph in 1877, it was not until the early years of the 20th century that it became a practical machine. In 1903, an American company issued recordings of opera stars singing to piano accompaniment. About 10 years later, orchestral recordings were attempted for the first time. The Victor Talking Machine Company brought out the Victrola, and the name was soon applied to all phonographs. By 1919, Americans were spending more on phonographs, books, and periodicals than on sporting goods. Interesting.
Should we dive deep, deep, deep into this stuff, Phoenix? That's just one snippet. I went with Margaret Sanger for a reason tonight because all of that's coming out of the order, the improved order of the red man. And we need to go back. I told J Mar and I told this to Dr. Fontaine this week. We need to go back into some of the old shows and then go in deep with the book for reference. At one time it was in Philadelphia, but right now it's in Texas. Something going stink down in Texas. Everything in Texas go to acting crazy. And they doing weird stuff down there again. Okay. Anybody sitting by their computer or have a phone separate from what you own, type in the Order of the Red Man headquarters, and it is in Waco, Texas. Waco. Some of the leaders from there was very much deep rooted into Louisiana. Yes, Kingdom, knowing history is a huge blessing. It also is a richness. It is more valuable than money. See, that's what I said, Kingdom. It's crazy over there. You know that. And I'm not, I told y'all today, I'm just going to be truthful. It's breeding some kind of nuts. Y'all know what Waco is. Y'all know the history of Waco.
Branch, Branch Davidian.
And then you got people around here fighting to infiltrate these things. So when Roderick and all of them was working under Tom Ackland, he have admitted that's what he did, establish tribes. And we know what the improved order of the red man is. And the only reason he reached out to these black people, and the only reason the white folks have reached out to these black people to try to convince them through other blacks to organize these tribes is so you discredit you, yourself, your history, and your people. Oh boy, y'all, Dr. Fontaine is kind of really smart. Felix, I just love Dr. Fontaine. He be right on it. That's how we stayed tied up on the phone the other night, Doc. That's how we stayed there. So who did they take over? Who did they conquer? They conquered Indians that was copper colored. This junk been going on since the 1700s, not the 1700s. Started on the East Coast. Worked its way down this way with the same people. The book tells the story. J Mark, I'm gonna drop a link. Why don't you come on stage because you had a chance to have the book in your hand, and I'm not even touching on it hard. You know that. I'm gonna drop this link because I want him to come on and let us know what he feel about what he saw. Let me get this post up here. 1 second. Okay, computer said need charging. Hold a minute. I don't need no computer needing charging. All right, Phoenix, I'm fixing to grab my charger, but I want to bring J More on. And I just pitched the link, and I think I left my charger in the car from the day. J More, you can start getting ready to come on. Let me grab that charger right quick, Phoenix, and you can be talking while I'm grabbing my charger. Okay, baby?
Yes, ma'am. Hey, J-Mo not up here yet.
I'm waiting for him to get there so I can kind of let him in so I can go to my charger.
Oh,
Not
okay.
well, you can hold down the fort, and for those who are not familiar, because I see we got a lot of new people, you can talk to them on what we were talking about with the order of the red man and the tall maker until I come back.
Yes, indeed. Tom Ackland, that interesting character. There are now other peoples that have did their homework and went to go and see who Tom was. And of course, credit to Chief Warhorse and Colonizer the Chief because we had squeezed out, I think, about 8 or 9 shows based off of that one conversation with Chief Warhorse and Tom. Uh, and the fact that they are the historical ties, the bloodline ties, still run very deep. Tom Ackland, his grandmother, crazy story with that woman. But again, the jewel and the beauty in all of this was exposing that a lot of them were playing both sides. So they tell us history from one perspective, which makes the Union Army victorious. And of course, the defeat of the Confederacy, but they don't tell you how a lot of people are playing in the middle. You can't tell some of the people, the that especially the business dealings from the Union to the Confederate. Like, who's the killer? They both didn't care about the Indian in any event. And then the Confederates end up with a bag that they're not rightfully entitled to. So a lot of history, going back to the Order of the Red Men, being on both sides of the Union and the Confederacy, especially during the Civil War. Their humble beginnings, the Sons of Liberty, the people that dressed up like Indians back then and threw tea into the water, and for the Boston Tea Party, if you're familiar with that event. So the Order of the Red Men has been, they're about 200 and something years old.
if not older. Um,
Well, we turn up 250, isn't it? The 250th year of the United States. And
yep,
they predate the United States about 10, 15 years.
and even longer for down here because we didn't come in until officially 1821, which started around 1808 by decree. All right, we have brother Giant Jamar on here. All
Hey,
right,
Jamar.
Peace, peace, Phoenix, peace, Chief Warhorse.
look, I miss y'all. Y'all have to come stay a little longer next time.
Definitely, definitely. I know there's a lot of stuff. Even though you showed me around, man, Chief Warhorse showed me around. Yeah, man, you showed me so much love down there. And I gotta say, just going to Beaufort and seeing some of the historical markers, and it kind of hit me when I went to the first park. And I seen exactly how you prepared cooking with Chief, just off of the information that surrounds Beaufort. You talked about the Order of the Red Men. Gotta also mention them Boy Scouts.
Mm-hmm.
Boy Scouts have to be mentioned in that because those go hand in hand. It's like they use that as an indoctrination for the next generation, for them to bring up. So definitely. Yeah, go ahead, Chief. I'm sorry. Let me
No, I'm
connect my
letting you
Bluetooth.
roll because what y'all don't understand, Jamar made it here late because due to flight problem. So that gave him a chance to do some other stuff other people didn't get a chance to do, but they're gonna want to do it when they come back, Jamar. But one thing Jamar can tell you, the little trip I took him on, um, which I could just spend years of doing this, but that little trip, he got a chance to see why I know so much about the Order of the Red Man and how it ties in with the daughters of the DAR or whatever it is, and how it ties in with the Boy Scout because they plaques and lifestyle is still here. Where a lot of people are not exposed to it on a daily basis. I am. Now, why other people here don't see it? Oh, they got a lot of people see it, but a lot of people too scared to say anything about it. Jamar went to the the original grounds of the mounds, and he got a chance, Phoenix, to be so furious. And I'm gonna shut up. But could you tell them what was on those plaques, please? Because people don't understand. It is the Order of the Red Man that is controlling around this country politically and everything because the organizations is in our communities. White women, their children, and some white men. some white women, some white children. Look at that word some there. And there are people who are white, don't know the truth either. So they taking their children down dumb road too, trying to keep our people dumb. Right? J-Bar, when you went to the park, you got so furious and you took pictures of it.
I actually have my other phone right now with those two markers. Do you want me to read the two
Oh,
markers to the
you
room?
are welcome to, because see what Chief told you. They got fake playing Indians out there, like in Lacombe today. They told they were playing stickball. I want y'all to hear me, and I want the world to know it. My grandfather was born in 1905. He said they quit playing stickball by law. It was illegal to play stickball in the United States. Do y'all hear what I'm saying? Wasn't illegal in the French Spring or Britain, but stickball was cut out, and you only played it in the woods. Okay, not the way they doing it now for a tourist attraction, because it was outlawed along with you being able to be an Indian openly. You could not be a chief openly unless you go to the reservation. But you couldn't even wear your clothes. You have to wear a tiara on your head so nobody could see your hair. The women have to tie their head with tiaras in Louisiana. Now, some of the stuff people doing was not allowed because there was laws against it. But what happened was the Boy Scouts and these other organizations were able to come through and dress what they call in Indian attire. That's why I don't like, because people say they masking Indians, and now masking Indians is in the museum as real Indians when they don't know where in the heck they come from. Just like the ones that talking about Zulu, that's a social club. All of that was social clubs. But while they running social clubs, these white folks is running, and I say white because that's who's doing it. White folks are going around writing history the way they want it to be told and putting it into the schools, now on the internet, and they recruit black people to do it too. Now we got Creoles up there talking about they Choctaw, doing the Choctaw stickball. They bring in most probably Philadelphia or Oklahoma. None of them people was playing no doggone stickball. My grandfather and them started in the Negro League. And anybody of color, Indians or whatever, if your skin wasn't white, you played in Negro League baseball. That was the big thing. As with my husband, he played in Negro League baseball. We were not running around here playing stickball, but that is a part of the culture way back. But who's teaching this stuff now? Tom Ackland and them. And he brought these people to Lacombe, and he go to the places, him and Greyhawk, and they teaching people what they call culture. Phoenix have researched both Tom Ackland and Greyhawk, and she can tell you neither one of them can teach a culture because it's not theirs. We can go back,
Nope.
Phoenix.
I found Tom Ackland in 2006 on different boards trying to find information on the Cherokees. So yeah.
Okay, today he was in the park teaching about the Choctaw Trail. Okay, and then that's on in the slide area in the park by Gummy, because they didn't took it really is Bonfaka. But so that's in Gummy district. He was over there in Gummy district. In Joe district, we had the Creoles talking about Choctaws and stickball. I was in Bonfaka, which all this was Bonfaka, but it's the little piece we done saved under the name of Bonfaka. That's where I was. And I wasn't teaching stickballs. And no trails of tears, because we ain't never traveled no trail of tears. I'm trying to create a trail of healing. Can y'all put that in there? It's time for a trail of healing. And that's what Chief been working on for many years. J Mar, go ahead, baby, and you start reading, because we gonna have Chief at least once a week. We might could squeeze in a little more, and then y'all can take it from there and go do what y'all normally do with it. Go chop it up, and stretch it. Throw some more meat in it. J Mark, you want to read your two plaques? They really upset it in y'all, so I promised him I was gonna let him talk about this.
Sure, sure. So I'm gonna start off with the first historical placard entitled entitled Native Peoples. Native Peoples. And the interesting thing that you pointed out on the placard right? At the bottom, it says 2019 Eagle Scout Project Jackson Cantrell. So this was a part of the Eagle Scout Project, which is a part of the Boy Scouts, which eventually leads back to your Order of your Regiment. So I just wanted to tie that in real quick before I read this placard. And entitled Native Peoples. Native tribes have lived in this area for over 2,500 years. The oldest evidence dates to 500 BCE from footed pottery shards belonging to the peoples of the Shafunkta culture. Hunter-gatherers who enjoyed a diet of fish, clams, and alligator were known as shell mound builders. The Aka- Akalapisa arrived
Cola,
here.
a cola pizza. That word mean
Ako,
what you see.
okay, Akalapisa arrived here in about 1705 and were easily identified by their tattooed bodies and faces. Their names translated as those who listen and see. With the encroachment of the European settlers and the slave raiders, the
Wait, I
tribe,
want you to stop for a minute.
sure,
Oh, they just said that was the Shafunta, right? But then, but in the same
Uh-huh.
paragraph, they're gonna make them cola pizza, huh?
And it said that they arrived in 1703.
So somewhere they're lying because my grandmother was a Shafunta, and she found offensive when you called them when they said a cola pizza, because a cola pizza was not who they were. They were the Shafunta. See how they could twist that to make it look like they don't exist no more. Okay, we still here. Okay, but they'll write a little truth and they'll bleed other stuff in. I'm gonna shut up again because Ishmael got them where they're gonna bleed some more people into this. Go ahead, Ishmael.
okay, so I'm gonna start over with the Acolapisa. The Acolapisa arrived here in about 1705 and were easily identified by their tattooed bodies and faces. Their name translate as those who listen and see. With the encroachment of the European settlers and the slave raiders, the tribe moved west in 1721. Having no immunity against old world diseases, smallpox reduced their numbers by more than half. In 1739, they merged with the Huma. Choctaws resided near the park from the 1700s to today. Although in 1902,
Whoa,
many
whoa,
were
whoa. No, 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 because they couldn't be residing there, right? These because they merged in with the homos.
they they kind of backtrack on themselves even in this historical marker.
Brother Ishmael said, we are not leaving him out. He during the stage. How you doing, my brother? He said, no, no, no. Y'all not going back down that road without him. Let me in. Uh, y'all say hello to brother Ishmael. He said, no, no. Y'all not do this.
Peace,
Say
brother
hello to
Ishmael.
peace.
Peace.
He said, I can't take the silence. Look, he on that thing. He said, I can't take the silence. All right. He said, I can't take the silence. You couldn't take the silence, huh, brother Ishmael? All right. We took you out of timeout. You couldn't take the silence, huh, brother Ishmael? We took you out of timeout. You eat.
Hey, cousin.
He said, no,
Hey,
we are
cousin.
not. He said, we are not doing this to him. He said, he family. He said, we are not doing this to him. He said, he family.
Love you.
Okay, y'all. Let's go. We gotta let Jamar. I have to stop and play around with Ishmael for a minute because he got in here. I saw when he jumped in the thing. I said, my brother say, let me in the thing. I said, my brother. Okay, we got an echo. All right, Jamar, I'm gonna shut up and you finish with this good lie. Because this is what they gotta understand. And it's posted places, y'all. Y'all want to come to this stuff. Like I told Jamar, I'm not trying to get them to take that stuff down. You understand, Ishmael? I want y'all to come see the lie, and then y'all can write letters to the culture, art, and tourism. If I'm giving you false history for your money for traveling. If Africa can cut up about Zulu with a parade, this here is a whole deceitful order of the red man take America over here. Y'all with where I'm at? This is serious. And I told Jamar, I said, Jamar, I got to get straight so we can come back in. Now, Jamar know Amy Sharp. We bring him in here. She a rocket, won't she, J-Mar? She know it.
That's right.
I'm her mama. I want y'all to know it like I'm your mama. So nobody can't throw these names. We just seen that the black leaders back there was protesting Margaret. These suckers here putting on a pedestal. They up there for election saying, oh yes, they are messing up the black community for having abortions. Come on now, black people was having 22 children back there, 15 children. They didn't see that as a burden. That was a part of that's more kids to help form. That's more kids that's gonna help bring food to the table. Because your farm was your store. Your land was your provider. Are y'all with me? Land was your provider. Okay, we got a little delay here. Okay, J Mar, I'm gonna try to shut up, and I know I'm gonna shut up because I'm going the mic. I gotta let you finish. I'm gonna mute the mic. Go ahead.
Okay, so to this placard, there's not much left. A couple of sentences. So to finish off the last paragraph, it says, the Choctaws resided near the park from 1700s to today, although in 1902, many were forced west to Oklahoma. Those that remained traded with settlers but kept true to the old customs. They are renowned for elaborate basket weaving and the use of blowguns for hunting. The Choctaw language is part of the Muskogean linguistic family. Castem Bayuk was their name for the local bayou whose banks were riddled with fleas. Settlers kept the name Caston Bayou unaware of its meaning. So that's the first historical placard entitled Native Peoples. I think the next one that you brought me to was one of the most disturbing ones, just for the content that
Hey, let me say
you know.
something so I don't get lost on that part that you just closed out with. How could
Mhm.
they leave and go to the many places, go into the homers, go into Oklahoma, but they still here today? Is not that what you read?
Yes. So read verbatim what the plaque says. It says Choctaws remain near the park from 1700s to today. Then it takes a big jump forward to 1902, and then say in 1902 many were forced to Oklahoma. 1902?
My grandfather was born in 1905. His sister was born in 1902. My
And that,
grandmother was born in 1906.
that's just so incredible because we have the video of the chief, their chief, forget his name. Start with the B, not Budno. What's his name? Billiard. The Billiard man saying that they lost about 70 years and don't know where they was prior to the 1750s. So how they have this information on these plaques is astonishing. It's crazy. It's a lot.
But remember, a Boy Scout put that together. See, so they used the children. So when I got on Margie and Tom Acorn, they said, look, he's just a kid. You're going to hurt his feeling. I ain't caring about that little white boy feeling messing up my people history. No. And it need to be corrected. But like I told Jamar, they can leave that plaque right there. I want the real plaque going up. Leave that there so people can see how these people have lied and been deceitful. Y'all, the same people that Arthur and I was talking about today that don't want them to clean the bayou and that they're a problem. The only thing you get them to come together with you on is the developers coming in here. They'll run to the meeting with you and they'll call for Chief Warhorse because they don't want developers. Y'all getting what I'm saying? It's like immigrated behind in here, and they don't want nobody else in here. Is that a good way to put that? And in here, and they don't want. I'm gonna shut up again. Now, the one that disturbed Jamar is when this one here supposed to be to me is very. If black people want to cut up, they need to come here on that one because they ain't really talking about the Indians. Then let's see what Jamar have again. This is the way they do with the so-called African American people history here. Jamar, give the next play.
Yes. So the next historical plaque is entitled The Enslaved. So, The Enslaved. Beneath this alley of Oaks were 20 double cabins that housed enslaved families from 1829 to 1862. They were the workforce for the Marangini Fontainebleau plantation and included skilled steam engineers who managed the power source of the sugar presses and the lumber mill. Brickmaking was the site's most profitable endeavor, but capable blacksmiths, schooner crews, masons, sawyers, and ox drivers were also part of the enslaved labor. A shoemaker, seamstress, and field hands were also noted in papers at the time. Children, with their small hands, fed sugar cane into steam-operated presses during harvest. Sugar refining was hazardous work, and a small hospital was kept on site. Tending sheep, cattle, horses, mules, and oxen was a daily affair. In 1840, 153 enslaved individuals
And I
were
say something.
documented.
They ain't have
Sure.
no doctors for the people then. Did you hear that? But they had doctors for them animals.
Hmm.
Crazy.
What was the
Crazy.
hospital for them slaves? They rather save those animals just like they is now than to save the people they were laboring. Y'all. I just can't keep my peace on some of this stuff. J Mar, know this tribe. We ain't out here trying to put no wash no feet in no cornmeal and dance around in nobody's parks. I deal, and y'all see that with Arthur and Kevin. I deal with real issues to correct history that can help everybody in St. Tammany or out to get y'all a better understanding to what happened to you out there because it's still here around me. You know, I don't need these talk show celebrities to tell me what was going on and what's going on with the election. They know good in the Democrat and the Republican. Okay, neither one was trying to help. Both of them trying to figure who's going to get in the front to get their pockets filled, and we see in that. But there are good people in all races. I ain't talking about no parties in all races that will step forward and say, "Look, let me help get this junk straight." Okay, I'm gonna shut up again. I'm gonna put the mic on mute.
Okay, finishing up the last paragraph, and I think this is the part that was quite disturbing, um, which went into more of the people enslaved. It says in 1840, 153 enslaved individuals were documented here, including 57 children under the age of 10. The economic panic of 1837, crop failure, and falling sugar prices led to the 1852 sale of Fontainebleau, further impacting enslaved families. The woman, Violet, and Bonin were babies when Fontainebleau was built in 1829, and 20 years later were sold with their own children to the plantation's new owner, Pierre Putz. And that's it for that last historical marker, which kind of went into them enslaving the women and children. And then also, oh, I have to say, you brought me to see the historical sites where those red bricks were
Uh
in
huh.
multiple locations. Multiple locations you showed me. First, the red house in the park. You see some of the red bricks on that structure. But when you brought me to Fontainebleau State Park, where the old sugar mill was, with the sugar stacks,
Uh huh.
and their sugar stacks about, I would say, 30, 40 feet still in the air, still standing, with this deep red brick. Now the placard talks about how these small children used to feed the sugar into the press, and then it went into to talk about how it was very hazardous work. Didn't mention anything as far as fatalities or the injuries that those children would have occurred doing such hazardous work, but then proceeds to go on to talk about a hospital they had for the animals, which is you hit it right on the head. They had the hospital for the animals, yet they had all these enslaved families doing this hazardous work in the sugar plantations, and they also too, they didn't describe who these enslaved people were. They didn't give a demographic. They didn't say where they came from, who actually they were. Very small details on who these people actually were they saying that they were enslaving. So I just
Okay,
want to highlight that too.
Phoenix, let's go back to the research on Tom Lakeland. They were selling the slaves. They were Indians. They was taken from the East Coast and the North and all of this and selling them down here through New Orleans, correct? So I'm
Yes,
sure
ma'am.
those slaves were Indians taken from their homes by being kidnapped by the boogeyman. Okay. And the boogeyman was a white man in a sheet. Down here, a white man with a sheet with holes in it is not a boogeyman. That's a clan. So that go back to the order of the red man was in full operation into the government since the 1700s, right? So they could establish themselves from place to place and bring their people in and create wealth and pay nobody nothing or some wooden nickels. And y'all know we got to be honest,
Wooden
Creoles
nickels.
Creoles played a major role in that. Um, we're gonna show a video. You're gonna have to sign up for this video. Sharon and Naima did the video because the city of Slidell, one of the organizations of those people, some of them family members, wanted to do a documentary, and it's called Waterway to Railway. What we're gonna do is, if you want to participate in that video, and I need to be announcing it, I announced it today. You need to become a member, the first 500 members to join Bonfacade Live. Bonfacade Live is only a place that we're going to be doing stuff that we can talk and get in there, and we ain't got to worry about losing our channels. And I can discuss a lot of stuff, but you're going to get to see some videos that we don't want to show on YouTube because you got the other people who like to slice stuff and put it out there. And Sharon has the copyrights to this. So her and Amy can show it, but I would advise anybody if they come in, do not cut and use it without getting Sharon's permission. Y'all with where I'm at? That is her profession. All right. So this video, we'll do a viewing of it and a discussion. That sound good, Jamar? And that'll bring you to the personality of their children bragging on what their parents did to get rich. Okay. We're gonna do that this summer too. Okay, we're gonna schedule it up to become a member. We did. I sent Phoenix a copy. Phoenix, if you want to, you can read it. I sent Phoenix a copy today of the edition one. Okay. It's very small for right now. It has our own advertising on it. Eventually, people can buy an advertisement to it, and hopefully, it'll grow to be a bigger page of getting history to people that look like us. And I would like for y'all to feel a part of it. But the first 500, what we will do is we will send that what I sent you today, Phoenix, and also we will set up if they say I would like to be a part of Waterway to Railway viewing. Okay, and you get to hear
Yes,
it out their
ma'am.
own mouth. So I will take and if someone want to put it up there, the email address to communicate on those two things is bonfacadelive@gmail.com. And you need to send your email, contact number, plus Ishmael. I'm going to use that as my backup database that you and I talked about, where if they start cutting us off, we still have contact to keep communication flowing. Cutting us off, communication flowing. Yeah. So, Ishmael, you and I talked about a backup. That's going to be it. Okay. Talked about a backup. That's going to be it. We're going to build a database. I got a couple of more announcements to do too on what we're working on. And some of the things I'm fixing to do is finna shut down some of the lying. And yes, I need y'all help. I've also ran it past Mr. Waldo. He's on here. He said, hey, y'all. And I've ran it past Phoenix, and she liked the idea. But we got to take our history back, take our people back, and put them to rest in their proper resting place, not where these um, improved order of the red man is stealing the history and the identity. Okay, guys. So we're gonna have a good year this year. Um, J Mar, I know you say you want to come back and ride the trace again, get on that trace with a bike. Maybe next time you come, we'll bring the bike out. You can really get a chance to enjoy that. Okay? Because it's going to be a healing trail where you can see the real history and the lies and the deceit that took place as well as the truth. And then that's called history. So I'm not asking them to take those things down. The only thing I really want down is the name Salmon at that park because Salmon was the Hitler to the Indian community here, him and the Portavants and the Fritchies and all of these people, just like Hitler was to the Jews. Really worse. Okay, so I'm not dealing with that. But all of their plaques and monuments, I think they need to remain for history, so that history do not repeat itself. Now, Ishmael, tell me what you think about what you've heard so far. Now, Ishmael, tell me what you think about what you've heard so far. Are you still with us, brother Ishmael?
Can't hear you, cuz I can see you coming off the mic, but we can't hear you.
We've been
Maybe go
having
out and come back in.
we've been having difficulty since the day, and I don't even know what it is. But we have patience. While waiting on Brother Ishmael to come back, Phoenix, you done heard the two plaques that upset J Mob. Tell me what you say, Phoenix.
I'll just, the lies are so leaving the plaques up. I think the truth should stand right next to it.
That's correct.
The truth should be in very close proximity to their lies.
Yeah. Just like they wanted to keep Corolla name up on the park. So the park is Bonfaka Trailhead, okay? And Corolla's Depot. They gonna be wanting to take that depot down before it's over with, but I will not tell them to take that depot down. Leave that depot right there, where it says that he was the first of the people coming in through the industries. Okay, he was the industrial people. Leave your industrial story right there.
Is he one of the wooden nickel people? I'm telling you, you confirmed that it was true for me. My grandmother would always say, "Don't take no wooden nickels," and I just knew that meant don't be a fool. But I did not know they really had wooden
Oh
nickels.
yeah, they really had wooden nickels, and they would go to these communities where people of color lived. They would put in their political structure. They would bring in their people through Washington D.C. and through New York. Okay, take control of the area, which you actually are prisoner in your own town. They control all the governing bodies and laws, and if you don't obey them, now you go to jail. So then you get to go to the jails like people like Tom Maitland people had. Y'all with where I'm at?
That
Are
would
y'all?
be those carpetbaggers.
And scallywags.
And while people took and was distracted, y'all, I wasn't trying to be mean. Phoenix, what I told you in 2019 or the end of 2018, really, when I first talked to you, was the end of 2018. I told you that people are misunderstanding on the internet with the organizing of these tribes and names and everybody being the chiefs. It was to draw a cloud over the truth and hide the truth. They had been done that before, okay? And they did it with whites. This time they did it with blacks. And everybody was Chief Ukatuka and Chief Lula Lucas and Empress this and all of that stuff. I was a
Oh,
distraction. You
oh,
know,
we
you're
was
not no.
averaging. We were
I am not an
averaging
empress.
chiefs about 10 chiefs a week.
I am not an empress. Okay, I am. the chief of 3 tribes, and the queen of a nation. I'm holding 2 positions. Shafunk the nation carries a queen. Okay? It was a matriarch also. Then I carried the fighting chiefhood. I'm the fighter, war horse. So for the Shatta, I am the chief of the Shatta, the Creek, okay? And the Cherokee who was in this area, who came to West Florida. I did not make this up. But if you're sitting down creating you these names, I'm my name Warhorse because I fight. Okay. I very
And
seldom
you were
use my
named Will Horse. You didn't make that for yourself.
I didn't give myself that name. No, I didn't. Avery Alexander, who also was a part of the original, what you would have called a real Homer Indian, and his identity was taken too by his people, and where he lived ended up going off into the Gulf. Before it went into the Gulf, he said these rich white people and mafia people had taken that place over, and a storm came through when they was out there with their gamblings and casinos, and the storm killed them all. Okay, so I got that story from Avery Alexander. Now, but he told me he was a real, what you would call a real Homo Indian. So that means the Homo Indians looked like Avery Alexander. And he told me they were big nose people. Okay, have any of y'all seen the picture of Avery Alexander? And he said the people
I
that
have.
came into, okay, you see how big his nose is? He said that was a trait for his people. They were Port Chata, Reverend Alexander was, but he said they were also Creek, and they did not give themselves the name Homer, just like we didn't give ourselves the name Akola Pisa. Are y'all with me? We done lost J Mar and Ishmael Phoenix. Okay, so there's fake
I think
stories.
it's not gonna come back.
Okay, these fake stories need to be exposed and they need to be a part of the tourism. But I don't want none of y'all taking names of other people and taking other people's identity. I want to help you find your own identity, your own land. Because if you were a part of, I'm not going to say foundational black, I'm going to give them something better to say, even though they don't like it. The Negro people who were considered the constitutional. Okay, hold 1 second, y'all. Okay, Mike, I'm in the show. You trying to get in? Yeah, I'm on live. All right. The proper way to say it, if they want to get what's rightfully theirs, and I hope they listen at this channel, some of them, they are the constitutional Negro. Don't just keep making up a name that does not have paperwork to back it up. Now, where are we going to find foundational black papers at? I want you to answer that one for me, Phoenix, please. I understand what you're saying, and it makes more sense than anything they have threw out there, including that African American stuff. But it's still not identifying you as the constitutional person they were talking about. When they were talking about had a right, they were talking about the people who they had enslaved, paid them nothing, worked their families to death. All right, Kingdom, since you say you be in there, do it make sense? Can you find that FBA? And I'm not down in that. I know what they're doing. And it's the right way to go, but you are covered under the Constitution. Don't let the word Negro make you so mad that you turn your back on your actual receipt that God have given you that you are not realizing, because the prejudice against the word Negro. My paperwork is under Spanish stuff, French stuff, and British. And you will find the word Negro in there. Why? because they were saying black. Okay, Ishmael, talk to me. J Moore, somebody talk to me. Talk to me, J Moore. Am I wrong?
No, you're right on point. You're definitely right on point. And it is quite amazing how they got rid of Negro right in front of our faces. You know.
By making
Um,
you, they want to make you ashamed of what you should not be ashamed of because that's your receipt.
hmm
Yep.
You cannot take foundational
I
black
fought hard.
or none of those names they coming up with and go lay it before them because they're gonna say, okay, well, where is FBA? Y'all getting what I'm saying? But if you say,
Yes,
where
ma'am.
is the Negro that they were talking about in Article 13, 14, and 15, then you can go back and backtrack your people to Alabama, Mississippi. Y'all listen to me, Louisiana, Arkansas. If I'm making sense, let me see y'all say it makes sense. Please, I want to hear it because I might be 65 now, getting a little senile, and can't understand how you're going to take something that
No,
has
ma'am.
no foundational history to it, and you're going to take it in a modern day, and then you're going to try to justify you the people back then when you don't want to be who it is back then, who they gave it to. I'm tracking myself because Bonfaka is Bonfaka, not Slidell. We are Shafunta, Shata, okay?
Not Choctaw.
Not Choctaw. You got to stick with where your records is. You know, a lot of people passing their blessing up because they won't deal with certain things straight on. It's not going to be easy. I've had people on this show say, I'm not black. Go get me your birth certificate if you was born before African American come out. I guarantee your behind is black. That's what's on the paper. Oh, well, we're not going to accept what America say. Well, what you going to do? You ain't got no choice. Stop making people on this internet think you got so much power. You can ignore the government. We didn't let the Democrats, who got us in this mess, still manipulate the system. And we following them. Don't follow them, neither the Republican. It's time you go get your own truth. Do y'all get it?
Is my audio coming through okay?
Now you are.
there
Talk
you go.
to me.
Hey, cousin.
Hey, cousin. Good to see everybody. Oh, see him.
How you doing? How we gonna take, and I'm not dogging, I say foundational black. I understand what they're doing. But where's the documentation to foundational black? Where's the documentation to the Creoles? Because when I get the documentation of Creoles, they were only slaves. And I know some people say, oh, the Indians owned slaves. Yeah. It wasn't us Indians, it was the Indians that was taking our place. Do y'all understand what I'm saying? You know, okay, I'm going to answer this one. Media. I just showed them today. If there were no Mississippi, how could we have a Mississippi Choctaw? I'm not trying to dog you. I'm just asking a question because I want to see what you're thinking. I see you say Mississippi Choctaw. That's what my 3-generation grandpa says. You didn't get a Mississippi until after they took over West Florida. The first Mississippi was way up at the top. That was through in. But there were no Mississippi in the times that I'm putting my documentation down. I need y'all to go beyond that. I need you to go to the ground that they done renamed, okay? And see what that was before then. They tried to put Slidell on top of Bonfaka, but I'm fighting, keeping it off. because Boca has a history. Slidell history only starts in 1888. What they say? Didn't get the full benefits of being. Okay, I'm not trying to say be a Negro to get benefits. I'm saying that is the documentation that gave you the right to say that you are a citizen of the United States by constitutional law, ratified. Okay? The other immigrants that came in is not into the Constitution. Trump trying to tell people and nobody don't want to hear it. He's telling the truth. But we're gonna sit here when the whole topic is sitting at the top of Congress right now and gonna miss the ship when it's time now for you to start talking your constitutional rights and your constitutional citizenship. That's guaranteed. I'm gonna shut up and let Ishmael come in. I haven't heard Ishmael yet. Ishmael, you in here with us?
I'm here, Chief. Absolutely.
Talk to me.
Chief, I think it's really important that, a lot of the research and a lot of the information and documentation that you've provided lays out a very clear picture. It was very important when your family member, when your daughter and, her husband and were able to go to Spain and go to the Naval Museum in Spain and look at some of the earliest maps that are produced. When you look at those maps that are produced, it bears witness to the names that you're using. When you're using Shatta, as you accurately said, it was before those states and territories were being established, be it Mississippi or, Alabama. The maps that you're providing and the evidence that you're providing proves that position. So that's why that's so very important. And thank you and your family for being able to do that.
We're willing to share our walk so that people can have a less confusing walk. Okay? Now, when I sent my daughter she went there on a trip and I told her, go get this. I already had France. I already had Britain's papers. I already had some Spanish maps, but she got it in their War Department on their wall. Y'all understand what I'm saying? I got it through books. I got it through archives, but this was their archive. It's hard for America to argue these other countries' archive because they was here first. Y'all love my swag? As long as I don't get the Obama swag. Obama had a swag that made his pocket rich, and Obama's now so rich and they want us to stay happy and poor and confused. I just don't know how you go in on one income and come out billionaires. I don't care if you write books or whatever you do. You did not do anything to help fix nor ratify the mess, not even secure our voting rights. Y'all saw me, some of y'all, in dealing with the local government. I don't hold back on talking about the racism, the lying, and conniving. If you heard today, Phoenix, I told y'all that the senator had to just blast Tom Ackland in the newspaper on front page for lying and interfering while we trying to get drainage down here where we flooding. You heard Arthur say the same thing.
Yep.
He's an official. Did y'all hear that today?
Yes, ma'am.
Listen,
Sure
I
did.
fight real fights. I don't have time to wash my feet in cornmeal. I got gardens to plant, animals to take care, chickens to hatch, white and black folks to fight, Democrat and Republican. If you ain't fighting for what's right, then I fight you. And y'all, I'm serious. Arthur really fights. He ain't holding back. Mm-mm. Before Arthur do something wrong, I think he'll just say, hey, you know what? You're coming from, Chief. I'm out of here. I don't think he have it in him to do something wrong to hurt the communities that he represents. I have not seen a leader like that since Liz Teague and Kevin Davis in this area sitting in this seat. Do y'all understand what I'm saying? People that held the top seat. Arthur fought even when he was the chair last year. Joe the chair, he fighting this year. Joe up there talking about, I'm not letting y'all take the minority district. I don't live in the minority district, neither do Joe, but he fighting for it because he know I'm going to fight for it too. Why? Because the black community do not go to enough meetings here to know what's going on. They leaderships from the church leadership. I saw somebody earlier talk about the church. Church leadership go along with all the rest of that mess. Nobody want to rock the boat because the collection plate going to get slack. But in the meantime, your people suffering, they ain't having jobs. You got black folks talking about telling people to boycott stores. Well, in some areas, those stores is where their children work. So if you work in there, you boycott the store, they lay you behind off, and they can afford to close down for 6 months till the boycott's over. So now who's going to pay your light bill? Who's going to pay your car insurance, your house note, give you groceries, pay for your children's education, while you being told to be on a boycott? Now, I'm a civil rights leader that protests, and I'm saying this, it don't make sense. You cannot protest whole United States at one time. And I hear them keep comparing it to the Montgomery bus boycott. The Montgomery bus boycott lasts for 300 and some days in Montgomery, Alabama. Not Birmingham, not Selma, not Huntsville. So that means their surrounding areas could help support what they were doing. That means they could cross over county lines and go shop. Do y'all understand what I'm saying? But you can tell all the people to get mad because one woman didn't want to see. Stay out the store. Don't buy nothing on Amazon. Don't go to Target. What if Target and Walmart is all you have? I said I wanted to come out and talk Phoenix after election because I wanted people to think. Think. Who is behind this here manipulation? Who is the one got the puppet strings working? You heard Tom Aikens say he was working the puppet strings on a good bit of people. So who's working the puppet string on the black community? Who's working the puppet string on the white community? Hi, Central California. Y'all got a mess over there with leadership too. Y'all need to think. We being manipulated by people through media. I said today, a ditch digger can have more knowledge than a college professor, a person with all the degrees. If that ditch digger going to meeting and going where the knowledge is, he has more knowledge than the person with those degrees. Don't you know they got educated fools, the old people used to say? Did not Malcolm X say, after integration, he said this in 1965, after integration, they began to appoint black people to positions, elected positions. And he said they come in smoking their cigars, had fire on one end and a fool on the other. Y'all ever heard that from Malcolm about the fire on one end and the fool on the other of the cigar?
He most certainly did say that.
You listen at Malcolm and Martin right now, you think they are talking about right now. We have had black leaderships in elected positions, and he still didn't move forward. Why? We have had whites in position, didn't move forward. Why? When are we going to hold a report card? Arthur promised, because that's what I do with politicians. I like report cards. Do y'all see Arthur come? I said, you're going to have to come and give me and my audience a report card every now and then. Do y'all notice Arthur come and give the report card?
He sure does.
I'm trying to show you what a real leader is. I'm trying to show you what a real leader maker is. If they start coming up Arthur, they got to deal with the community. We're going to rally them up. We're going to the meeting. We cannot keep sending people to office and we stay home thinking they're going to take care of business. They're not. That's like sending a hungry man to take care of the last hamburger and bring it back to you. That sucker is as good as 8. Okay? You may not even see the hungry man no more after he eat the burger. And that's the way it is with us with politics. And this new thing of them cursing and talking ghetto that's supposed to reach black folk. No, don't talk ignorant to me. Don't be telling me to kiss your behind. Through this last election, blacks was more abused by blacks that was trying to recruit them to vote for a so-called black than they were abused by white folks. If I'm wrong, tell me. If I'm right, let me see y'all put in there, Chief, you're right. White folks wasn't calling black people names during the election. This was black leaders saying that black men was ignorant and black men didn't know what they were doing. These were black people saying, look, woman, if your husband don't do what you say, y'all remember those kind of statements? Or it was black people saying, don't go eat with your family for the holiday. What if your family don't live to see the next holiday and you listen to a stranger and could have spent time with your family? I ain't talking about you gotta honor the holiday that we know is paganistic in the first place, but that's the only time black folks get together with their people, besides a funeral, a wedding, or maybe sometime church. Because we don't go to church together no more. Talk to me, somebody.
No, that's true, Chief. And even through social media, they was browbeating, they were bullying, and trying to force people to go one direction or the other. They were
I'm
applying pressure.
gonna ask Mike something. I just saw Mike jump up there. He said this is true. Mike is a hard worker. We're a hard worker in the Democrat Party. Mike put signs. That's the hardest part. That ain't about money or nothing. He went out and put signs up for candidates for years, just like I did. He got people registered to vote for years. But that same LBG, whatever, ABC 123, pluses, no minus. Okay, everybody a plus. All right, you know what they did? I'm fixing to get him on here. Mike, I'm fixing to get you on here. That's a memory for you, for your friend, and my friend that just died that was with the Democrat Party. Because he died trying to tell people what happened. Mike, I dropped the link in there. It says Cooking with Chief, Serving Up History. Click on that link, please. They told they're going to win in the next 2 years. Well, you better win locally in these communities across the United States. And I mean winning us to vote. You better win us back by doing something in the community of color that have been faithful to the Democratic Party, that have been neglected. That's why under Obama last term, I walked away and became an independent. You get more respect being an independent, picking who you want to pick and not who the gang pick. They red and blue. They done took over the Crips and the Blood. I don't even hear about the Crips and Blood no more. I just hear about Democrats and Republicans. Do y'all hear anything about the Crips and Blood? They done took it over, y'all. They done stole it. Yeah. Mike, please hit that link. Come forward. Or if you don't know how to do it, I'll call you on the phone. Yeah, Mike has been very involved with the Democratic Party. Let me get Mike on this phone. We ain't losing Mike. And we had a friend died up. He came back from the convention. He never recovered. And it was a big battle and a takeover. And that's why I told y'all I was just going to wait. I wanted to see where people's mind was. Because when you come out to try to tell them what's going on, they act like you the villain. But see, I'm going to get Mike on here. He came on this thing here. I'm going to get him over here, though, y'all. Watch. Y'all
No problem, Chief. You take your time. We're with you.
Y'all know, y'all have me spoiled about them receipts. Y'all know Chief keep receipts when she talking, because if somebody try to sue me, I have to have my receipts.
Yes, ma'am.
Hello, Mike.
How you doing, Chief?
I'm doing fine. You are now on air.
Oh, okay.
He said, oh, okay. Y'all, Mike worked good today. He set that stage up in no time flat and broke it down in no time flat. And man, he worked on it, getting that stage put up today. Okay. Mike, I was talking about the Democratic Party and the experience that you and our friend that passed called and asked me, could I help? And I started to help. And you invited me to a meeting, you and him, to come see what was going on.
Right.
Because I had not been to a Democratic meeting in, oh, Lord, so many years, it's ridiculous. Mike, what was your experience with the Democrat Party during the election?
Well, I've been working with the Democratic Party for a long time. And as you say, I've been out there campaigning, putting out signs, things like that. But in this last situation, this last election, it turned to be really outrageous. We were commandeered by another group, and they
ABC 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, y'all. Go ahead, Mike.
yeah, the alphabet, whatever you want to call it, whatever. But anyway, I was trying to stay and work with it, even though the situation was changing rather fast. But I saw where that these people was hell bent on pushing their ideas and point of view and changing the party. And I came to you when I saw things happen. I reported to you, and you decided you will come and check it out yourself. And also Belinda Parker Brown, she came with that too. But it was, man, I never seen anything like this. And the guy that walked in with the little dog and a tutu with the bonnet kind of threw me off a little bit. But yeah, they were hell bent on changing. They're pushing their agenda. They're not ain't interested in church. They're interested in their particular agenda. And so we fought more.
Thank you, the great Gunja, for the donation. Mm-hmm. All right. Yeah, Mike, I was just thanking someone that made a contribution. Okay, go ahead, please, Mike. Because I don't want nobody to think I'm making this stuff up, because you called me into it and I saw it.
And then my friend Patrick and the other panel, the legitimate panel that was there, they automatically moved to collect themselves together and start voting them out of their position. They're out for control of the board. And it was just ridiculous. I've never seen anything like this.
Did not I sit in on a meeting where they explained that they were more minority than you and the other blacks on that Democratic board?
Yeah, they made that statement. They made that statement. Told me I was a nobody. I said, wow, ain't this something?
That was the ABC 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, y'all. Mm-hmm. They stripped the people who had been there working because they needed the party, because they tried the third party thing and it didn't work. So what we saw here locally, they found a way to take over the Democrat Party here in our parish and the state. And we did talk to some of the state leaders and they knew it was happening, but they didn't have what it takes to stand up to it.
Right.
Y'all got me? One gentleman actually got sicker until he died. He died directly. He'd been in the hospital from the time he came from the Democrat convention till he died the other day. God rest his soul.
God rest his soul. He did try.
He went under stress with this. I told him walk away, Phoenix. It wasn't worth his life.
Yeah, he was very stressed about that. He never came out.
They had one man. I want y'all to hear me clearly and check this in your area. You got your local board, your parish or your county of the Democrat, and then you have your state board. We had one that was a woman on one level and a man on the other level, and they were husband and wife. And both of them could play both roles to fill in seats. Did y'all get what I just said, Phoenix?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, they flip the script on you.
Didn't they have their nerve to say, you can't tell me anything because we have more laws to protect us than you black people have?
I was glad you came and seen what kind of mess we had there, because it was ridiculous.
So I guess you're supposed to just vote Democrat and be abused. And none of these celebrity talk show hosts ain't coming down saying nothing. So you know what I'm telling people? If you stay Democrat, you need to research it, because we just earlier, Mike, I was showing them with the book of the Improved Order of the Red Man, where Margaret Sanger is a part of what all was going on. Her job was to eliminate black people.
Wow.
Eliminate you before you're born. And we got people in the Democrat Party got us trying to fight because of abortions clinics, The gentleman that died came back and told me they had an abortion clinic about a few feet from the way that you have to enter to get into the convention. They didn't have one of them at the Republican convention. So who they always link to Democrats and giveaways they try to say is black folks. Forget about them Democrat Republicans and do what y'all been doing since I've met y'all. Research. Put y'all heads together. None of those people are your leaders. They're not mine. Somebody said they saw the abortion thing on television. Well, this man saw it in person. Y'all, we got some serious problems. Do y'all understand what I'm saying? Oh, y'all sleep on me out here. Or are we shocked?
No, we
we
hear,
hear
Chief.
you.
Absolutely.
So I didn't come out because the more I would have came out, the more they would have played the game and got more blacks to vote for them. So I said, let the election go through. Okay, the election done passed. The Democrats still ain't said nothing they fixing to do for nobody. No, Trump might not be doing nothing for you either. But he didn't promise us nothing either. I told y'all with Arthur sitting there today. One of the white representatives out of the 14 councilmen, we was at an early morning meeting. They had meetings because we were pushing the tax. And the meetings was in the morning between about 8 o'clock, 8:30. One of the representatives, she normally talked to me, but this one particular day, the last part of the meeting that I've been to, because the meetings is the last Friday of the month, okay? So the last meeting I went to, she came over, she greeted me as usual with a very kind greeting, and me and Arthur were standing there talking, and she nicely says, I can't stick around today and talk to y'all. I have another meeting to go to. She said, but Chief, I got to get with you. She said, because you know you like Elon Musk. Well, when she first said that, I stopped. I said, well, baby, I'm not like Elon Musk. You know, I think real quick to come back at white folks or black ones. Okay, y'all? I said, baby, I'm not like Elon Musk. Because if you're talking about power-wise, I've been out here before Elon Musk. If you're talking about money, I don't have that. And I don't build Teslas. I didn't lie because I brought it up with Arthur today. Did y'all hear him? So my joke, me and Arthur walked away with, he must be Trump then. And we must be kicking butts. I've never been compared to a white person, especially a white man that's wealthy and got his own cars. I do like technology. I wouldn't want one of his ugly cars because I'm not planning on getting electrocuted because I went through water. I live down here in the water. I don't need no Tesla. Those are dry day cars.
No, that's right, Chief.
Right, right.
I don't even think people consider that.
Mm-mm. You got to keep that junk in the desert. Okay, I think he's connected with Arizona, right? So you can make that kind of stuff in Arizona. You know, but not down here where I'm at. Go to bed, wake up, and the car done blew up. Anytime they tell you don't park something in your garage because it can blow up, you ought not even buy it. And plus, it costs that much. But I got compared to Elon Musk. So I'm going to take that, y'all, as a compliment. Because Arthur did too. Because we doing what we have to do. And you heard him finish. He said, even Joe rocking with us. You understand?
That's right. That's right.
And then he said, Jimmy want to rock with us. We passing laws and writing bills. We kicking butt and taking names later. And that's what y'all need to look for in your leadership out here. In whatever state you live in, you can do it. But be who you are. Don't change your name. Because if you kicking butt, I'm going to pick with you a little bit, Shaka Zulu. You're kicking butt under Shaka Zulu, the wrong Shaka Zulu going to get credit because they got a lot of Shaka Zulus in New Orleans and everywhere. When you kick butt, you want them to know that was you did that. When they say Chief Warhorse kicking butt, they were like, okay, Chief Warhorse kicking butt. My name not Crazy Horse. So you should expect a battle from a warhorse. So then that means she just said Elon Musk is a warhorse. If we reminding her of each other. And like I told Arthur, he must be Doge. Not me, him. because he the one in the position to find the money that's being misused and cut budgets that need to be cut and give people raise who need to be raised and fire who need to be fired. They in that position, not me. But I am in the position to point the finger to the direction where it need to be going. Clean it up. And I want y'all to understand this. Don't think because a person look like us, we supposed to vote for them or we traitors or all this stupid stuff they were saying. Y'all, I came back fired up because I've been down here doing a lot of stuff that fires you up. When you do stuff and you accomplish stuff, you get fired up for the next thing. And I want y'all to be fired up too. I want to shut up because I have not heard enough from my brother Ishmael. I'm going to shut up. Ishmael, talk to me about the show tonight, and I'm sure you saw the one with Kevin. Give me your feedback.
Yes, very good bill with Kevin, and actually the lineup of people that you presented to us in the past, whether it be McGruff and just the different people that come through locally, you broaden the platform and share their their information with us. So thank you for being able to do that. Also, the exclusive content of what you're going to be setting up, on the program, we're looking forward to it, Chief. As far as just making sure we can get our membership for the exclusive content. I know that you've shared exclusive information with us before, as far as like videos and just information. So I know you got it, chock full of just knowledge and wisdom, and we're really looking forward to that. The show tonight, just the whole breakdown of what was taking place, as well as the information that Brother Jamar was being able to share. We're ready to go for a whole nother season, Chief. We got 10 already locked and loaded, just to give breakdowns of all the information. We were able to kind of break down that first session with the 10-part series, Colonizer the Chiefs, and all three of us are ready to go again, Chief. So you put it in motion, and we're gonna, put the bow on it. You bring the present, we bring the bow, and the people get the knowledge and the information. So thank you for setting that standard, Chief. We appreciate you so much.
I thank you all too. And Ishmael, it was fun traveling that journey with you all, and I'm looking forward to doing it again. I have Mike on here. Mike, like one of the sidekicks, y'all know him and Will, and all of them be with me. Mike will tell you, I might call him maybe a day notice on doing stuff, and man, it be all day thing, and we all senior citizens, but Mike, we get in there and make it happen. Huh?
Yeah, make it happen, definitely.
So I didn't neglect y'all. I miss y'all, but boy, have we been working on some stuff. But while we have Mike on here, Mike been knowing me a long time, like I said in the past. And Mike knew me when I was helping with them to get their union together over in New Orleans. Mike know that I know the leaders and work with the leaders that I'm saying. I'm not name dropping her, Mike.
No.
Because I brought those people to this town and they were close with me. And Mike will tell you, he got me one time. He said, Chief, I need your help. We need help with the union. They won't do us right. I brought in everything I could think of from the FLCIO. Now, didn't I, Mike?
She did, and she brought in Avery Alexander.
James Orange.
Yeah, he came in, and that battle, we started a ground battle over there at Avondale. Because they were wrong. They had practices that were very discriminatory against our people. And so when she brought the Avery Alexander, and she came there, and then we had the Elder Burkhardt with the trade unions, stuff like that, boy, we really pushed that thing. And I appreciate him coming down to help us out at Chief request to help us to get that union started over there.
So, y'all, I don't just fight what people think is an Indian fight. I fight a people's fight, right, Mike?
Yep, you fought that fight. That was a good fight, too.
And Mike, no, I fight with white people, black people, y'all, the ones that came down, y'all sit out there with the lady from the Tea Party that invited me to the Tea Party. And people were like, you going to the Tea Party? Yeah, she asked me to come speak. And y'all know what? She come to whatever I have.
Yes, ma'am. I sat right next to her. Or Pierre Josande. Yes, I did. I did meet her.
If you know what you're doing is right and you're not lying, you should be a unifier, not a divider. Can y'all put that in the chat? Unifying people, not a divider. We may start out not agreeing, but if we sit down and start communicating, we may have more in common than we, don't have in common. Okay? And I'm not a Tea Party member either. But I have all of those parties respect. Because I don't care which one of them doing wrong around here. Mike could tell you, I go to them if I got to go by myself. I want y'all to know what real leadership is. What the real fight of not only the Native American community, but what do the community, I don't care if they want to be foundational Black, African American, colored, Negro, whatever it is, where is the unifying point? Those groups cannot say separate and win. Together we stand, divided we fall. Y'all understand that? And the most powerful thing is knowledge. I think that's why I like my channel. My audience brings knowledge. I bring knowledge. That's called communication. I'm not afraid for y'all to talk to the Blacks or the whites because I'm around, because I'm still be me. I don't have no two Elwins. Because my name Chief Wars, that don't mean I'm not Elwin. I'd rather deal with Chief Warhorse than to deal with Elwin. Because Mike know, back in the day before I was even a chief, I was kicking butts.
Civil rights, yes. Well, civil rights, yeah.
So I know if I'm fighting for my people, I'm going to kick butts. I was kicking butts for other people, other ethnicities, and unions. So when I come down to fighting for me and my people, yes, indeed, it's the Warhorse then. See, Elwin fought for the other people. Warhorse fighting for her people is a part of me, is a part of my children and my grandbabies. We don't have time to wash foot and cornmeal. We don't have time to leave from Louisiana knowing your half broke to go to New York to march in parades where Phoenix see people that's a fake Indian dressed in a quartet uniform. Is that a good way to put that, things? Then that's when you're putting
Very accurate.
Phoenix was having sightings, Ishmael. Keith, I see the blue and white uniform people up here.
Yes, Chief.
Then you got Tom Aikman sitting in the park today talking about Choctaw Trail. You got the Creoles up there talking about stickball, and all that's fake. That can't make no changes for nobody. Fake. Why we want to keep letting people bring us fake stuff that can't get us anywhere? Okay, y'all, I'm not going to hold y'all long, but this time I did 2 hours and 6 minutes. Plus today, I had to make up for technical difficulties. But today is we talking about what we need to be talking about the rest of this year. I want y'all to put a list in the thing. I'm going to call some things out what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about history and the Order of the Red Man and that whole mess. Y'all know we've been digging in that junk, and the entertainers. So it's no big deal that Africa mad with New Orleans and none of that stuff. And the other people who say they're Indian mad with the masking Indians. And why? Identity theft. Okay? I asked Arthur today to write a law protecting our tribes, culture, and heritage. Did y'all hear that? And he said, hey, that's my job. That's why Obama should have been saying, hey, that's my job. Because the same mentality that Arthur have is the same mentality whatever person we put in Washington have to have. Y'all understand what I'm saying? Otherwise, we ain't getting nothing. Okay? I hope Arthur grow to be a great leader in Louisiana and United States. And that's what's called a good leader builder. And that's what I'm doing. I don't want his seat. I want him to do the best at what he's doing. And he is. Okay. Now, here we go. We're going to deal with the past shows. Put that up there, somebody. I see you there, Noreen. All things. Past shows. We're going to show Waterway to Railway. We need to move our close to 12,000 people to a database, email, and phone number. I think by now, I never asked y'all for that before, but I think by now y'all can trust me to know I'm not trying to lure y'all in on nothing, right? I just want to make sure that we stay connected. Um, I talked to Phoenix, Ishmael and Jamar, and I talked to Mr. Waldo. I think it's time I take my auntie back from all these fake tribes. Talking about she their relatives, Tanema, and I'm going to secure her grave. She have her headstone, but I want to do something even bigger to let them know they are lie. I want to do something to give her some type of modern headstone because I would like to be able to say how she have been all around the world and everybody tribe and never left Louisiana. Before she ever went was New Orleans. You know the one that they say she's somewhere down in Louisiana. Tanya, I think she have been used across the internet, and I would like to see. She had no children. Actually, Chantel, um, grandmother and my grandfather took care of her grave until they died. Then Sandra, Chantel's mom, took care of it. Now I want to do something a little more permanent with it. And I would like if y'all help me to do that. And whatever we do, we'll make it live so that y'all can see. And next time Phoenix and y'all come down, you'll be able to go and see where she's at. Can I ask y'all to journey in on that with me? I'm talking about a simple thing as $1 or $2. And that's not for Chief Wars. You don't have to give me money. You can pay for the headstone. But I do want to do this, and it was something even Sharon wanted to do. See her have a proper um, recognition. And I asked Arthur today, so that means we'll do something with the parish to put some kind of protection to her grave by law. Y'all like that?
Yes,
Absolutely.
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Good.
I think she need to be protected by law because one day I'm not going to be here. And I don't need them coming from one of these so-called federally recognized tribes that is descendants from the order of the improved order of the red man to come trying to dig her up to take her to Oklahoma like they collecting artifacts and gifts, treasure hunts and stuff. Y'all getting what I'm saying?
Yes, indeed, Chief.
So, Phoenix, I ask you today, since you've been, and you all just like Amy, you got me out here too. I would like you to be a part of the check and balance committee with Sharon so that people know what was brought in is used for what it said it was going to be used for. And we will bring back receipt. That makes sense to you all? Not only receipt, you get to see it and you get to come here and see it. It'll be a part of something you can say that you are a part of. Instead of people lying saying they are her descendants and she didn't have no children. Okay?
That's all right. Absolutely.
Now, I would like to put her picture on it like we did with my mom so that when people come, they know that's her. I'm sure the Catholic Church will participate because she was the person who converted all these Catholics around here in Bonfaka and Lacombe. Y'all see what I'm saying? That is not Creole. She converted the Indian community. Y'all with me? So they should acknowledge her contribution to that church that did nothing to protect us. Okay? So they need to do something to help protect her now. Because you see these so-called federally recognized tribes going around trying to claim anything they think they can claim underneath the word federally recognized. And that'll be a serious battle because she's buried in a private cemetery, which I don't know how they have a plastered on all of their pages. Because, for one reason, she was documented by Bushnell, and she was documented with Father Quat. And neither not one of them mentioned anything about Oklahoma, Homer, Mississippi, Banner, Choctaw. None of these names was ever mentioned in any of their documentation. So how they get so many rights to use our history is because they end with the people, like y'all heard me and Arthur saying today, that allowed and helped that stuff to happen. Okay. Did y'all put on there what we're going to be doing? We're going to watch Waterway to Railway and learn about the wooden nickel, okay? From the people who gave out wooden nickels. That's how they got rich. They give you a piece of wood and they made the money in New York. Um, we also going to deal with reapportionment and, well, let me do it right, census and reapportionment, because this the time of year within the 10-year span, 5 years ahead of time, you need to start to know what you're working on, and it's not to make you an Indian. A group of people took the census thing and just ran with it and coined people out of money. There should be no money involved with the census. Y'all understand? You get no money. The money you get is the money that come back down through your congressional district. So, how many of y'all want to learn about how you bring funds back to your community with United Power? If you want to do it, let me see you say, let me see, put sensors on here, reapportionment. We're going to be doing some workshops on that because the communities of color is the one that gets the least of the money, but we pay tax. And that's another one of my babies that I would like to show y'all how to babysit your funds as they go up when you're paying taxes, how it needs to be coming back down to your community. Okay? It's not about just identification of your race. It's about
That's right.
empowering your community and using your sensor blocks. And when they start having sensor meetings in your area, you want to be a part of it. And you want to insist that you're a part because it's dealing with your tax dollars. Okay? The average person on this internet cannot tell me what congressional district they are in. But they out here telling people how to live and what to do. First thing you need to know, what is your congressional district? My congressional district is one, and I need to know who my leader is. I need to know his phone number and all of that. I don't care if he's Democrat or Republican. He's the gatekeeper to the funding that come back to my area. And as we do census, that calculates funds and monies, millions and billions of dollars that come back for education, housing, and all of these things. Healthcare. Stop wishing for somebody to do it and let's put people in office that's going to make sure they include us in the decision. That's what y'all see authors doing. And we have a good relationship, I can say, with our senators and stuff for the state and for federal. But if I sit down and try to boycott them until a Democrat come along, my grandbabies will be 4 more years older and have nothing. And I'll be 4 more years older and a little slower. We got to stop boycotting ourselves. It's not about boycotting, it's about getting involved. If you want to see how Chief do it and you want to do it, I'm going to show you. And you're going to begin to see changes. Right now, they should be having meetings in your area. You should contact your county leadership, your state leadership, give them your phone number. When you get ready to start talking about restructure of government, because right now is restructure of the government time. Put that in there, restructure of the government. So then they're going to make up their mind if they want more seats, less seats, how they're going to run the government. That's happening now. Okay? And then when you get to 2030, that's census year, the art year. So 2030 is census year. 2031, reapportionment. Reapportionment means redefining of the line and saying where you live at. Reapportionment say how much money go within that census block. Y'all with me? Y'all ready to take this class? Because you got less than 5 years to know what you need for the area where you live. And who are the leaders that need to be letting you know when there's the meeting so that you be able to participate and voice your opinion. And the census is how they wrote out the Indians and the black people, and that's how they took your land and your identity. If you want to take that back, you got to take it all back. Noreen say yes, yes, they should. The Catholic Church have benefited. Yes, it have. For some reason, I just died out. Hold 1 sec. So if y'all can hear me? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Yes.
So these are important things I'm talking to you about. This is not no game. Chief don't play games, okay? And I'm very much involved with these things. I'm not the chief that sit here on the internet just talking smack. I promise you that. Promise you. And I'm not trying to put on those step and fetch shows. I really don't have time to go out and speak. There's a demand on me going to speak that I cannot even keep up with if I wanted to, and be able to still take care of the things that I need to take care of. I had young people stop me tonight, a young man, Phoenix. He was so excited. He said, I heard we getting Bonfaka back. I said, baby, Bonfaka never left. They just hid it from other people because we know it's still here, because we are still here. That young man said, I'm going to start getting our people together, the younger people. I told him, I said, look, y'all ain't never gave Chief no money. Chief don't never ask y'all for no money, but this is what Chief want. On that day of that dedication, I want to see y'all showing up. And I want y'all to bring your grandparents' picture with you from Bonfakai and their birth certificate or death certificate. You can take it back home. I don't need it. I don't need to prove nothing about me. I want them to see Bonfakai alive. You understand, Phoenix? Bring your grandparents who was here before you by picture. Bring yourself to that point to stand for your people. Because if it wasn't from them, there will be no Bonfakai still here. I need y'all to do that in your towns. Moundville, be on here sometime. They need to take a stand. Do their paperwork that takes them back to Hale County. People in Huntsville, I heard from Rosa Park and from Dr. Lowry, who are from Huntsville, Alabama. It was a town of that was flourishing. When he described it, it sounded like what people call Black Wall Street. No, those are Indian streets. Because Indians got pitched underneath a banner called Black. And then somebody within the African American movement wanted to make Tulsa an African American thing. That don't even match up with the law because the law said that Africans couldn't own the land in Creek and in Cherokee counties, territories. Did y'all know that? So how could African Americans build a wealth where African American didn't own the land? But we can manipulate the system, the law, the paperwork, and brainwash people to speak against themselves. And it's still happening today. Now, I'm going to shut up. I want to hear some final closing from, I think we'll take J Moore first. Then we'll take Ishmael. And then Phoenix, as usual, I'll let you bring us up with the sum or sum out. Here we go.
As always, it's always a pleasure. Always a pleasure. Always chefing it up. Another heavy dish. Um, you bring so many good points on us just reclaiming where we live at, right? Immediately.
Correct.
Um, and that's one big thing that's missing out of the grand fight, out of everything.
The
You know,
foundation.
yes,
People say foundational black, but you have to have the foundation. A lot of people call themselves foundational black, don't know where their foundation is.
hmm What is the foundation? Could you call the foundation by name if you had to? And just by calling it a foundation is that doesn't
That's
represent what it
too broad.
actually is.
Too broad, huh?
Yes. So when you said that, it's such a powerful statement that you said to the younger brother to bring the pictures of the grandparents with you because they were quote unquote the foundation of both Akai.
That's correct.
So that's where we need to make the connection personally within ourselves and our grandparents and the foundation of ourselves and where we reside
That's
to
right.
overall help the community, help ourselves, help our family, and to reclaim our foundation, our name, our dignity,
Your
our
cemetery,
presence.
your
Eh,
cemetery.
eh, y- You hit so many points with just that one point there. And as always, it's always a pleasure to talk with you, to always be a part of the conversation. Phoenix Moon, Ishmael, I think this community is something that's needed on so many levels. And I'm just honored to be here. And yeah, that's it.
I'm gonna touch one more thing. How many people have family reunions and they don't even go to the cemetery where the foundation lays to walk around, see the name, make sure they know who that person is, tell it to their children and grandchildren. No, we want to play family reunion and dance. Now they ain't playing family reunion. What's that song? That boot scooting song they doing now? Where the fans at? No, not where the fans at. Where my grandparents at? Okay, so people need to include a visit to the cemeteries when they're having their family reunions. Talk about who's buried by who come from who. Bring the pictures so people can see the picture. Okay, y'all see my pictures on stage with me. And so I'm telling the young people, bring your grandparents' picture, bring your mama picture. Let them stand with you, because without them, you wouldn't be who you are. That is your foundation, and your foundation ties to them being in Beaufort. If you have to prove that was a Beaufort, go get their birth certificate and death certificate. Bring it with you. That's your foundation. Um, in the Bible, I got to play a little Bible with y'all for a minute. We're supposed to protect the cornerstones, right? Ishmael, it's really against the law to move the markers,
Right, right.
okay? I'm not going to give it to you biblically because some people don't get it, but I'm telling you, the Bible telling you the truth. God knew that people was going to move your cornerstones, your marking places, so you'd be lost. Go back and put your cornerstones back. Go back and put your markers back in place. Deuteronomy 28 give us two choices. Either we choose the blessing or the curse. Y'all, we've been choosing the curse too long. It's time to get back to know what our people was about and get to the blessing. And don't be washing feet and cornmeal and doing no stick ball. I'm not going to waste my time with y'all with that. I love y'all too much to do that. Y'all too smart for that. We don't have time to play stick ball, okay? Need to be getting them birth certificate, death certificate, and finding your foundation. Then you can come back and say, I'm foundational Black. Because before they would just say Black, they say foundational. But Negro is constitutional. I would rather address them as constitutional Blacks. That is natural born citizen under the Naturalization Act. Right, Ishmael? Trump asking
That's a
them
fact.
when did they become a citizen? You was a citizen under Naturalization Act. That was the reason they had to go and do Article 13, 14, and 15 so you could be included under the Naturalization Act. Y'all with me? So, Jamar, family reunions need to be, where's the graveyard at? Where do the bodies of my people lay? And when you bring their papers and their pictures, if you got them, you're resurrecting them spiritually to stand with you. Instead of people, that's the ancestors. That's how the white folks call and turn Emma the ancestor. And she ain't have no children. Okay, and that can be proven by the records here in St. Tammany Parish. So she don't have no descendants, so she's not their ancestor. But that's identity theft, the way it been going on. But if you start getting the birth records, you start going stand by the grave, you're taking back your claim to your people who are really your ancestors. All right, we're gonna move from that to Ishmael. Give me what you're saying, Ishmael, on tonight. Whatever we got to talk about. What is your closure to me and Phoenix?
A couple, just a few brief things, Chief.
I like
One,
that. Where them grands at? Somebody having it. Yeah, that's what we need to be saying. Where them grands at?
yeah, Chief, yeah, it was, the great elder, Dr. John Henrik Clark. He said that the word Black is a beautiful word. There's nothing wrong with it at all. He said, but it tells you how you look, but it doesn't tell you who you are.
I agree with that.
And he said that
And
the
Black is
land, absolutely. And he said the title that you use should tie you simultaneously to land, history, and culture.
That's what I say. That's what I was
And he
telling
said
them.
that black doesn't do that. He
No, it
said
doesn't.
you have to find a title that ties you to land, history, and culture. If you cannot do that, then they are calling you out of your name. That is what
And that's
Dr.
what they
John
did.
Henry Clark said. And
And that's
I'm in
what they did.
agreement. That's
But
exactly what they did, Chief.
they messed themselves up when they did it because they documented and ratified it.
Correct. And it
You
was
see what I'm
being
saying?
used, they used false titles in order to rob people of their birthright and their identity.
That's correct.
So it's our job to make sure we get things back in alignment. And
Did
the
y'all see the
wisdom that,
did you
go
see
ahead,
the
Chief.
people that thought they were citizens of the United States? They was like second, third generation from Canada, and now they can't get their social security on the internet crying because they never had citizenship.
Yeah, there are
They had
people being
work
deported
visas.
under the same thing. Yeah,
They have work visas, so they're not even entitled to Social Security. That's what Trump and I mean by getting some of these people off of Social Security because they don't have real citizenship. We do.
absolutely, absolutely. And the wisdom of what you put out in these series, the things like you put us on that path of the Creole dance group that was, started by Buffalo Bill, that then evolved into, the Mardi Gras Indians and things. So
That's
there's
right.
so many other things that get unlocked in these conversations as we just dive deeper into that you actually put in motion. And I would be remiss if I did not let the public know, just by me being able to meet you in Alabama, I've seen the respect that you give to other people, and I've seen how other people give you the proper respect also.
You know,
Whether
a lot of people don't know, Ishmael, when you taking someone's culture
mm-hmm,
and using it like that, it hurts those people because my people been hurt.
mm-hmm,
So I understand what the Zulus are saying in Africa. I
mm-hmm,
understand when Mr. Waldo didn't like that people were calling themselves Black Sumanar. I
right,
understand, okay? And I,
mm-hmm,
I have a compassion for that,
right,
okay? I'm not picking anyone. And because you did it in 1909, doesn't mean it was right because you historically done it. Because if that's the fact, then it's right for white folks to hang black folks because they were doing that before 1909.
facts. That's right.
That's historical. So some historical things is not good, and it need to be fixed and corrected. Okay, not trying to justify it. Fix it, correct it. Say you're sorry.
Right.
Try to learn that person culture. If you done did damage from 1909, you need to be doing something to correct what you have done.
Mm-hmm,
Okay, because you have damaged the image of those people. How I know we've been there and still is. But I'm working for correction and healing. And healing start when your leaders in your area start saying, you know what, this is not right. The DLC author literally laughed because there was a lot of money hanging over what these crooked people had did to steal the park. Phoenix is laughing already. Y'all here?
yeah.
And they lost the money trying to block me all the time. They lost the money. Now ought to say, well, this time when we go with the money, we're gonna go get it in the right name. Is not that what he said? Anybody that was listening today?
Yes, indeed.
So you can get things with a lie and wrong, but it's a time for correction. So the masking Indians don't listen when people tell them you're hurting me. Now there
Mm-hmm,
were real Indians that used to mask in New Orleans, but everybody that's masking in New Orleans are not Indian, and the clothes that they masking in does not represent the traditional clothes of our people. Okay,
yes.
that's more the Caribbean. And Tootie Montana did pick up putting those peacock plumes. He was the one that was first doing that. Okay, and it
Mm-hmm,
just went ridiculous. Go back and look at the older pictures of them masking. They were not dressing like that. So no, you ain't been doing that long. You didn't change this junk to what you want it to be. And it's entertainment. And y'all know I told y'all this in 2019. Did not I tell y'all Roger and them came out of entertainment?
Yes, indeed.
yes.
Now, look at since y'all been around me, because I did y'all like I did with Sharon. I welcomed you into my life. Do y'all see I'm doing what them nuts was doing? That don't even make sense what they was doing.
Not at all.
No.
My grandbaby don't have time for that. because he know it ain't getting you nowhere. He up here
Hmm.
trying to figure how he gonna get rich like Elon Musk by not spending his money. Phoenix know Gavin is business. Some things. Mr. Waldo on here, he know
All business.
he business. Gavin asked me about a lease the other day, Phoenix. How much y'all leasing a piece of property to open up him a golf course? You know, come on now. He's 7. And we got grown people around here washing their feet in cornmeal and dressing in some boots and blonde wigs and looking stupid.
Right.
Entertainment. But in the midst, there are people whose lives are suffering because of someone confusing the issue. And my prayers go out for the Zulus. Uh, because if the people in New Orleans say they Zulu, you should be Zulu. Y'all with where I'm at? Not a
Yes, absolutely.
not a tradition. If you're a masking Indian, we don't mask. Why they got a mask? Nothing mask for as I see but clans. Okay? So they picked this junk up from them clannish people from early times, masking and jumping and stepping and fetching. And they think that is it. But the whole bottom line is what Tom Maitland told us. It's all about the green. Didn't he tell us that?
Exactly what he said.
So we will hurt somebody's feelings about their culture to make a dollar. That is sad. That is sad. I hope all of y'all that's on here can hear my voice. I hope you connect to your roots, to your foundation, to your base. Be looking for pictures. A lady came today. She said, Keith, I listened at you. I came to one of the things with my friend. I done went back and found out I had family I didn't know I had. Found out I was American Indian. She said, you the one told me I looked like an Indian. She said, but I have paperwork that my old people did before they died. And she didn't even know it exists. But she went looking. The Bible says, seek and you shall find. Knock and the doors are open. When the doors open, then you ask and you can receive. Okay? So, Ishmael, thank you for y'all time. I know y'all hadn't had me. I did miss y'all, but we were doing a lot of stuff too. But I am going to try to come out at least once a week because we got a lot I want to do with you all because I want y'all to understand the censors and these congressional districts, and it has nothing to do with the color of anybody's skin or the political party. Okay? So I'm looking forward to working with you all, and I'm looking forward to y'all taking whatever I hunt and gather and put on the table. I'm looking for y'all to cook it up and serve it up too. Okay? Y'all have been great cooks. Okay? So, Phoenix, in your closing to Ishmael and Jamar and to me, what do you have to say and to the rest of the people that's in the audience?
Before we close out, I know it says I'm back part 2, but this is Cooking with the Chief, and you always serve it up. I just wanted to say thank you from the bottom of my heart for all the priceless history and wisdom, the civic engagement strategies that you continue to bless us with. And we actually got to see you in action. Wonderful people like Arthur and Kevin. Your guidance, your wisdom not only empowers us, but it definitely reminds us of who we are and what we got to do going forward. Um, I know I'm excited about Bonfire Live. I know everybody else is. That's going to be powerful, and we can't wait to be a part of that. I want to give a special shout out to Tom Acklin, of course, for pulling the cover off the fake tribes and, breaking down how both black and white folks have been willing to steal and rewrite our history for generations. And, Chief, thank you for your work. It's just been essential, the deep layers of civil rights in action, and we get to see that. And the people that have passed on, and you were there in the beginnings and at the height of it, definitely, and certainly at its apex. I just want to thank you again for bringing forward the truth. um who else do we improved order the red man and degree of Pocahontas blood. um just the fact that they were sanctioned by Congress, in case y'all missed that, go and do your homework, all the way back to 1763. weaponized against us, to erase and replace us. Um, and that's it. Chief, I love you. I appreciate you more than words can say. My
I love,
gratitude to Mr. Waldo, Jamon, Cousin Ish. Y'all my family, my warriors. I stand with y'all. I walk with y'all. Um, and I'm glad we walking this good road together.
okay. Now I'm gonna answer someone right quick because it's an important thing. Walter Haley says, "Does Negro connect us to the land?" Listen at me this now. I want you to hear me. Negro only mean black people to the Spanish. Remember, Spain was here. Okay, so Negro connects you more to the land than anything because the Article 14 speaks of the Negro people who was freed from slavery. That was who had a right to naturalization, citizenship. And it says the non-tax-paying Indians, which would not be the Indians in Oklahoma. I want to drop y'all this little piece of thing so y'all can dig. Okay, J Moore, I told you I wanted you to dig when we was together. That does not talk about these tribes that the BIA and United States have given federal recognition. Are y'all with me? That was talking about Indians who already had citizenship. They didn't get their citizenship till the 1900s. Mr. Waldo, is you in the room? If you will, say amen so I can see you. Do y'all understand that? That's a myth. I said today that I'm working on 200 years of citizenship come 2030. That's from 1830 to 2030 when Pierre Joseph and Andrew Jackson came into an agreement. That's 200 years of my dual citizenship. I'm a citizen of my nation, and I'm a dual citizenship of the United States. And those that was in Oklahoma left because they did not want to be under United States citizenship. Are y'all with me? Talk to
Yes,
me,
Chief.
and J. Moore. Did y'all know that? They were not citizens till the 1900s. They lost their connection even if they was under the Dancing Rabbit Treaty. They lost it when they fought against the United States
Confederate.
with the
Right.
Confederates. But see, they think we don't know that. That's what this channel is about. We're going to let them know, oh, we know. Y'all understand? Do your homework on that. No, Ishmael, this is not no eggplants and gumbo. No, that's Tom, huh? He was doing some eggplants and
That's
gumbo.
right.
He had eggplant and sweet potato gumbo today at the park. Okay? I just don't want to say the other name that they're using still on that park yet. But y'all know I'm not giving up. And I'm hoping I'm encouraging you all, don't give up. Kevin told y'all it been 30 years it been taken from me by name. Didn't he say that the other night? Me and him been working on this for 30 years. We became friends. He learned the history of the tribe. That was able to save it from the developer. Are y'all with me? They have a history there that the white people didn't want nobody to know because they was making money off it. I see Mr. Waldo checked in on something. What did he say? He said, if you are from Oklahoma, Negro definitely connects you to the land. Did y'all hear that?
Mm-hmm.
See, y'all got a goody here. And Mr. Waldo, I don't know how I left you out because you got me out here too. Because Mr. Waldo the one said, we need you to come out here. This was around the same time with Phoenix. They must have set out to find me together. They found me right behind each other. And I did not want to go to Oklahoma. I even said, Mama, you know we don't have no business in Oklahoma.
I remember that one.
Mr. Waldo, okay, you got your numbers backwards, Mr. Waldo. You got, come on, fix them numbers. You hit the wrong keys. Y'all see it. These tribes didn't get citizenship until when? 1924? I think that's what that two supposed to be a one, y'all. Did y'all hear that?
Absolutely, Chief.
So that couldn't have been them that they were talking about in Article 14 now. Because they didn't get nothing until 1924. Now, what I'm saying, the blessing y'all have, you have me off the reservation historically, and you have Mr. Waldo on the reservation through the removal. So y'all get facts from both sides. We're not playing Indians. We are the deprived Indians. We're the people whose identity they took. Thank you for putting 1924 because I knew what he meant. Okay, come back with something again. And they didn't get a tribal constitution until 1980 and after. Somebody want to comment on that? Is that historical? 1980? 1924? But if we don't bring these issues to the table to our congressmen in the different states, this is where we got to work together. We got to start writing letters to our congressmen and say, look, I want to meet with you, our senators, and say, what do you know about this? So Trump is not wrong questioning them on when did they get their citizenship. Am I right, Mr. Waldo? He know they are not the people talked about in the Constitution. Who was talked about in the Constitution was people with some dark skin, which was Indians, and people who weren't Indians. That's why they have to say Negroes too, because some people got misidentified too. All right? Because they start throwing everybody Indian and everybody on the doggone same shit, no matter what country they brought them from, to have free labor. That's why I tell you, I read those two things. One sign tells you about the Indians, and the other sign tells you about slaves. It doesn't say where they come from. But it wasn't us, because it self-identified it on their sign. We got homework to do. You got to ask questions. And if we asking questions in more than 50 states, that's majority of states, and I think we cover way more than 50 states on this channel. And we start asking these politicians who have not, because don't blame them, they don't know the truth, guys. You got to be the educator. Did you hear Kevin Davis? He said at the meeting on the 2nd, I sit down and educated him. That means I brought him paperwork. Just like I'm telling you, you got to gather and bring forth. There you go, Mr. Waldo, with the Indian Child Welfare Act. Then you go back in 24 and see who was in office. Now we back to these same suckers that done set us up. Okay? So remember, in 1924, you didn't have the civil rights, voting right, none of those bills. So we were still living under Jim Crow, which was brought from the South by the Confederates and spread throughout the United States by some deal made between the Union and the Confederates. That's why you can't trust them by parties. Because it also said that a Confederate person could not run for office. Ishmael, whoever know I'm right.
That's a fact, Chief.
So how we get the Confederates in office? How we get the leader of the clans to have a monument and an office in Washington, D.C. By the name of Pike.
Yeah, Albert Pike, that's right.
Okay? And y'all want to see where Fort Pike is? That's down here by me too. See, I live where history is. Now, if people live here don't get the history, it's not because it's not here. It's because they're doing something else. How they entertaining? Because when those people came here from New Orleans, the Nevilles, Roderick, Linda and them from Michigan, they came to ask for help. And I would talk to them just like I'm talking to y'all now. Okay? They didn't like the way I talk. That's what they operate, Mr. Waldo, private clubs. Mike, you've been living here all these years. How many years you been living in St. Tammany Parish?
Little 50 years.
Now, y'all might come from an Indian line of blood, too. Right up the road there in Mississippi.
Right in Mississippi.
Now, check this out. Mike lived here. He's very active. Did the black people know about that park? Mike, did you know about that park?
No. I passed by a million times. Didn't know.
T.J. Smith was on the council, didn't know about that park. Y'all listening to what I'm saying? Mike didn't know about the trace till today.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out where it was at. It was right there in front of my face.
For 30 years, I'll be fighting around here. The blacks ain't helping me because they don't even know what I'm fighting for. They think they say stuff that ain't gonna work. She crazy. The white people ain't gonna let her do that. No, your own mind keep you from doing what's right. I challenge you all, do what Chief is doing. Get involved. Get your paperwork. Find your foundational spot. Then you can say you foundational black to where it's at. Back and back off. Phoenix, you got the floor back.
Um, again, I'll just, again, I wanted to thank you and send you much love.
Well, I want you to get some rest. I love all of y'all. I'm glad to be back. And I'm gonna make it my business to come more often. And Ema was getting on me that it been too long. Okay, y'all know Ema gonna keep me straight on that. I enjoyed every minute of y'all today and every minute of y'all tonight. Or should I say second? But we're gonna depart, and I hope everybody stays safe, well, healthy, and alive, including me, until we meet again. Okay, which will be soon. Chief is back. I was sick for a little while, but that's not what kept me away. I've been back up from when I went with J Moore. And I told him that. And I had the doctor put me on bed rest, and I came on home after J Moore and went on bed rest. But I did not go on bed rest till I took J Moore on his tour. Yeah. And I didn't have nothing contagious, but they overdosed me with some medicine, y'all. Nearly took me out. I just told Phoenix I was all right, and next thing I know, I was overdosed on some medicine that I had reaction to. I guess that's because I don't take medicine. But I'm closing on y'all. I love y'all. Chief is all right. Chief is healthy. Her family's all right. They are healthy. And I'm going to get with Mr. Waldo in Phoenix. And we're going to set a schedule when I'm coming back. And I'll put a commercial up to let y'all know what date we have chosen. So look for a commercial coming from us. We're going to start running a few commercials too, because there's some things we need to warn y'all about that's coming up in the government, in the country. And I don't want you all to be afraid. Oh, and I do want to add one more thing. I am going to bring on the insurance agency so we can discuss, some of y'all on here senior citizens, to discuss what's going on with insurance, Medicare and Medicaid. Would y'all like that?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm a senior citizen. I like that information.
Okay, so I'm making arrangements for that so we can have a professional person that can answer questions, and we just waiting on the clearance from the insurance companies and stuff so we can get that going. So I'm gonna bring y'all some real information. I'm gonna do with y'all what I do here locally. Mike and them know I'll do that, and I'm gonna do it with all of y'all. Thank you, Mr. Waldo. Good night, y'all. I'm with Mr. Waldo. He said good cooking, and I'm gonna put it like this: the kitchen was hot because I'm sweating over here. Peace to y'all. See you next time. Love y'all.
Good night.